Remember, we're live on Facebook, Nigerian for PH. We're live on YouTube as well, Nigerian for PH. We're very much active and interactive on X, Nigerian for PH. And I remain yours truly, Kalada Kurubata. So this is the second leg of a hard fact. Remember, usually we have two topical conversations. The first leg or first half happened at the 4 o'clock hour. Now let's look at the second half of the topical conversations, and this time we're looking at the constitutional amendment. I've been on radio for a while, and I've done it here in River State, and I do know how some of the radio callers think when it comes to the Constitution of Nigeria. Some people will tell you that Nigeria's constitution is the problem. They would say the Constitution does not favor the ordinary man. Most especially during the 2023 elections, the Constitution was blamed for many anomalies that happened in that period. Now, some people have said, scrap the Constitution, let's have a new one. Some people have said, the military gave us the Constitution, so we need a new one. Others have argued the Constitution is not the problem. The Constitution, it can work, right? But it is the people interpreting the Constitution or the people executing the Constitution. So the arguments are rife. The arguments are here. The arguments are there. However, there is a process ongoing right now, and we're seeing the National Assembly start constitutional amendments, to ensure that Nigeria is better. Remember, the conversation is for development here. And so we want to look at it. What should be the focus? We're talking constitutional amendment, but what should be the focus, while amending the Constitution? Now, I looked through it during the weekend. We even spoke about it on the newspaper review yesterday morning. And, what we got to see, what we got to learn was that regionalism, parliamentary system of government, state policing and state creation were major aspects of, submissions from Nigerians. A lot of about 56 memoranda has been sent to or have been sent to the National Assembly, and these issues that I've mentioned top the list. For instance, more people are asking for regional government unicameral legislature, which means one, we have two, but they're asking for one legislature. It could be either the Senate or the House of Reps, whichever one, but they're asking for that. They're asking for local government autonomy, which of course the Supreme Court has already ruled on. They're asking for state police, gender equality bills also, made the list, and the inclusion of traditional rulers in the Constitution. Now, in total, about 474 clauses have been submitted for consideration according to the Senate Committee on Constitutional Amendments. But it looks like regionalism, parliamentary system of government has now made the news the most. Up until the Civil War, I was taught by historians, or maybe I want to believe I'm a good history student, and I was taught that we ran a regional government. We had regions. We had, the East, which comprised of the Southeast and the South-South. We had the West, which comprised of the current Southwest. We had the North. Of course, all of the North was encompassed into one. So we had about three. I think we had, did we have correct me now, historians can help me with this now. I think we had the middle belt. Right, we had I stand to be corrected, but I know of three. And during the Civil War, I think in 1967, states like Rivers were created out of the eastern. I think the regionalism was unbundled, and states like Rivers were created, and we saw further creation of states as years went by. History. Parliamentary system of government. We also used it in the country. It allows for both bicameral and unicameral legislature, But then again, it allows for two head of state, I beg your pardon, head of state and a prime minister. Well, you see, the legislature usually is in charge of the cabinet, like we see in the UK, where the cabinet is part of the legislative arm, right? Even the prime minister is part of the legislative arm. So it's really, really interesting. Really, really interesting. However, I'm doing all of this so we understand the argument out there and so we can also have our say in what they say. Because a lot of you, not all of you, but a lot of you argue that the Constitution was not written by the people, even though it is all about the people. You say it wasn't written by the people, and so it does not reflect the people's interests or the people's choices. So the question is, given all the things that I've said in little amounts, what should make it to the Constitution, given we are in the process of an amendment? Do you want us to go back to regionalism? Do you want us to go back to a parliamentary system of government? I think we've had the argument on state police and local government autonomy, so maybe we'll skip that. But what are we missing? What are the things that other Nigerians are missing when we look at this constitutional amendment process? How do we strengthen institutions? Going back to our previous conversation, how do we ensure that we don't have strong men fighting over what is supposed to be for the people and by the people and of the people? I've got a commercial. I know I kickstarted late. We had so many commercials, but we've got another commercial. When I do come back, I will open the phone lines and the question I will hope you try to answer. Good afternoon to stations. In about a minute's time, I'll bring you the headline news, but just in case you're just, a lot of just there, but just in case you're joining us right now, yes, you're listening to Hard Facts and 92.3 Nigeria Info. I'm your Srini Kaladakuru Batbo. We're looking at constitutional amendment. Regionalism is our focus alongside parliamentary system of government. You would remember or recall that at the beginning of this year, about 60 members of the legislative arm at the national level proposed parliamentary system of government. Remember, once again, I try to explain that two heads of government, we have the head of state and the prime minister. Prime minister usually is elected and is answerable to the parliament, is a part of the parliament, so to say. We do have sometimes a bicameral, but usually a unicameral system of legislature. We did practice this under the 1960 and 1966 Constitution. Should we go back to it? Regionalism, I think we practiced it up until the Civil War. Should we go back to that as well? All right, let's quickly take a look at the headlines.
Headline News, Nigeria Info on
92.3.
Headline News.
All right, the headlines called bars INEC from releasing voters register to RESEC. Governor Fubara insists local government elections will hold. President Tinubu swears in substantive CJN. Imo State government refutes claims of new IDP camp established by federal government. Police, NSCDC deploy officers for Independence Day celebrations in FCT. Woman accuses neighbor of stealing baby in River State. On the foreign scene, suspects in trauma assassination attempt makes plea. Details in the 6 p.m. bulletin. University News team, send your SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. To stay tuned.
This is Hard Facts.
Okay, what say you? It's time for me to hand over the microphone to you. What say you as it relates to the important items to be added to the Constitution or to be removed from the Constitution? As you please, I want to know what your opinion is. Remember, you're a Nigerian. We've been talking about restructuring for more than 8 years now, if not more than 15 years now. We've been talking about restructuring Nigeria. Now we have an opportunity given this process. But then there is the doubt in my head, because in 2014, we had the National Confab. Oh, okay, this is Nigeria, I guess. Well, let's go to the phone lines and get your thoughts. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, 0817 923 0007. WhatsApp number 0809 0306416. However, do you think a constitutional amendment is the solution to Nigeria's lingering problems? Or, like some people have argued, do you think it is the people who man the affairs, who are in charge of the affairs of the country? Let's get your thoughts. The phone calls are dropping. I wonder why. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. Facebook Live Nigeria Info PH, and YouTube Live Nigeria Info PH, and we're active on X Nigeria Info PH. Right, I've got WhatsApp messages. You can send yours to the number 0809 030 6416. Oguojoni Justice says, not until corruption becomes a death sentence in Nigeria, nothing will work. Judicial officers and INEC officials should be made to have consequences on their job, and make opposition members to control NJC corruption. How do you make NJ opposition members to control NJC. You say corruption continues in our judiciary. National Assembly should be merged and it should be a part-time job. All right, okay, interesting. Okay, someone, Dave, thank you very much. That was the Midwestern region comprising of Delta, Edo, and the likes. Thank you very much. I know there was something like that, I just couldn't remember. But Dave, thank you once again. This one says, good evening, Sir Kalada Ejima from Aba. To me, my opinion is of two folds. Regionalism or parliamentary government is not a problem. Our main focus in the Constitution Amendment is to create a system which strictly brings to power a tested and trusted individual. No matter how good a car is, if you allow a baby or an inexperienced person to drive it, it will make the car look bad. So in essence, we need competent leaders. Constitution is not our problem. If the leaders don't respect the one we have, they will not respect the one that is to be amended. Finally, check the G7 nations. You will see that they run different kinds of government, but excellent results. America presidential, UK parliamentary, Russia socialist, Germany etc. So for me, the leaders account for 80% of either good or bad in the country. I've got Robin from Iche. Robin, welcome. Tell me your thoughts, please. Robin. Yeah, Robin, welcome. Let's get your thoughts.
Yes, thank you. In the headline of the Constitution, anyone who is a politician, be you a man or woman, the opposite, either the wife or the husband, should not be allowed to be a judge in Nigeria.
So what if I'm a judge and then my husband joins politics? What then happens? Oh, I'm a guy, so what if I'm a judge and my wife? Robin, my apologies. The network isn't clear in our conversation, so please do call back if you can. I've got Eric from Port Harcourt. Eric, welcome, Eric. Tell me your thoughts, please. Can you hear me?
My name is Eric from Port Harcourt.
Eric, I already know that. Tell me, what I'm concerned about is your opinion. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me what's on your mind.
Yeah, I will go first of all. We should talk about type of government we want to go for. And I favor, what do they call it? Structuring. Parliamentary system. Number one, I have just three major reasons about that. It is less expensive. Two, that was what the British colonial master handed over to us. So the one we're processing now, alien. And again, we had more improvement under parliamentary system now. The next system was in a carryover from the military. And it's not any good. That is the truth. If we continue to create space for political reasons, we need a large...
But Eric, some people...
so expensive and prone to corruption.
Eric,
so to that regional system, honestly, we will fasten development. And we will break the chains of the unity, the tribes, towns, and whatever.
Okay.
So the three main areas, and again, you can't be practicing what was handed over to you by anything. Let us evolve a new and start now. From the military. So the things we would have settled before moving forward. Otherwise, we'll continue to run around and every day we'll be to do this or do this, go front or come back and run around and we'll not problem. Those are my key contributions.
Eric, thank you very much. I wanted to say that some people are arguing that maybe a state creation would bring some level of peace to the southeast, given that the southeast have just 5 states. So, I mean, think about it. Maybe state creation is needed. Because if we go back to regionalism, like I was arguing yesterday, we could have some states not, get resources, touch them, because some regions will be, look at the north, for instance. The north will be such a large region if we merge all and remove our geopolitical zones. I've got Obed from Port Harcourt. Obed, welcome. Talk to me, I like to hear.
Yeah. Good evening, Canada.
Yeah, welcome.
Canada, I tell you, for me, I think instead of this amendment, why not we implement the 2014 compact?
Okay.
That indeed have made it clear that our lawmaker, that will cut down the cost of governance. That lawmakers should be on part-time basis. You understand? So what is it like that? understand? So it's not all about amending constitution back and front, but we have people who can be able to man this system, you understand, and do the needful, you understand? So for me, I think the honorable thing to do, you understand, is for us to have a very strong electoral kind of system. You understand? Electoral system, a very good one. It is indeed lugubrious that I, Obetima, have to transport from where I am residing in the urban area to a village to go and cast my vote. Why a system can make it easy for me to cast my vote at the very comfort of my home. Understand? So these are the two things I'm telling you. All this back and front, let's go back to regional system kind of government. It's not going to work. Because people that don't manage the system, they are Nigerian. They didn't come down from heaven for crying out loud. So I must tell you, let us make our electoral system viable. That is the only solution, Canada.
All right, thank you very much. I've got Is it Ken from Obumini. Is it Ken? Welcome. Let's get your thoughts.
Good evening, once more, Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon for my
Canada, if I may ask, who make the constitution to stand and be valued? Who are the people to make this Nigerian constitution to be effective? Until the politicians realizes their mistakes. Because there are people that think that the immunity that is including them with their atrocious characters in the house. Are you with me? So until they start to respect the Nigerian Constitution, that is when our Constitution will be effective. Otherwise, amendment of Constitution in this our country.
So you're saying they don't respect the Constitution, the current Constitution.
Respect it.
Okay.
Otherwise, imagine what is happening now in the judiciary.
Okay.
Imagine what is happening in the judiciary. Canada, I don't know if you remember when the former president Jonathan seated a conference. What happened to those amendments? So we are the people that making our constitution to be irrelevant.
I see.
Let the top politicians start respecting our constitution, then we will do our things constitutionally. And things will do well in this country.
All right.
Go to Togo. They queue with whatever thing they want to do. But Nigeria is just doing everything, feeling that there are people that immunity covers.
All right. Thank you very much, Ezekiel. I've got to go. And Ezekiel has a point. And I'm now thinking. There's something that I omitted, and that is that those in diaspora are also saying, "Hey, we want to be part of the amendment process. We contribute a large chunk to revenue in the country. You know what they call it, diaspora money, is it diaspora funding? They contribute a lot, and so they are saying that they want to be part of the voting system." Anyways, I'm also thinking, and I'm going to put it out here for a debate, or you could even go on social media, on either Facebook or X, to drop your comments therein. Should we even vote for these things? You know, some people say, "Oh, the military was the one who gave us the Constitution." So, for everybody to be involved, should there be a voting process, some kind of referendum to the various issues? Oh, I want parliamentary system, I vote yes or no. I want regionalism, I vote yes or no. I want state policing, I vote yes or no. Should we put it out there as a referendum, you know, to be able to get this done? But I've got Progress, and Progress is calling me from Elele. Progress, welcome.
Canada, good afternoon.
Yeah, Progress.
Yes. Let me begin with the issue of voting.
Okay.
I think it is the right of people to vote. So anything we can do with this current constitutional amendment to include people's right to vote, irrespective of where they are, whether diaspora or wherever, they should vote, or we should vote. Having said that, the issue of this constitution is handed over to us by the military. I think it's neither here nor there.
Okay.
The reason is that we have the constitution, we have amended it over and over, 2011, 2018. And so we've been amending this constitution that we claim that is being handed over to us. Why don't you impede those changes we needed? Okay, and that is where the whip comes in. Some of these constitutional amendments that we, like this regional government, like this state police, we remove some powers from some persons who are even amending the constitution now, and they don't want to relinquish those powers.
Okay.
For example, if we return to this parliamentary government, who will be the Senate president?
Oh, there will be no president. First of all,
that is the what do you call it? The prime minister. And it's not easy.
Progress.
Those juicy positions that people are enjoying now, people don't want to let go.
All right.
And these are the things that is impeding us, are the things that is killing us.
All right.
Imagine we are pledging also 400 something representatives, and they're not even bringing any dividends to us. So that is just the truth.
Okay.
So that is a will amendment. However, the willpower to do it is a problem. All this stuff, the Bobo juice, it will just end as nothing.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Progress. I was going to say that, Progress does have a point. I mean, who would agree to remove the office of the president and the office of, think about it. Office of the vice president, who will be the Senate president, all of these issues. I mean, there's the possibility that the House of Reps will also be scrapped. Robin from HA. Robin, welcome.
That's what is not happening. What is saying? I was making a point. I said, first, any politician or someone who is a politician or who is going to public politician, the wife, if it is the wife, must not be a judicial officer. Number one, you are talking about what you should add to make the leader go. That is my suggestion. And you want to take a politician, but wife must not be a judicial officer. Not a magistrate. I can say so. But all of them are coming. It's just a joke. But again, the issue of independent candidature, why is it difficult to put it there?
Okay, it's. I think it's part of that. I mean, we talked about it.
If you are a politician, you are one of the public office.
Robin, it's difficult to hear you. But then again, we talked about it last week. Independent candidacy, I remember vividly, and I told you that it's part of the process. But based on revelations, I'm trying to point out, or I'm trying to, tell you listening that the major issues raised or submitted to the Senate Committee on the Constitutional Amendment is or are: one, regionalism, two, parliamentary system of government, state police, local government autonomy. What else did I mention? I think I mentioned a couple, right? And I then asked several questions. One, recently I asked, should we do a referendum for all of these issues raised? Two, do you even think anything will come out of all of this? I mean, we had the 2014 confab. Three, is the Constitution really the problem? Or is it the leaders that we have manning the various offices of government? And then there is the fifth question, talking about what should be added or subtracted from the Constitution in your opinion. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, and 0817-923-0007. Now let's go to WhatsApp. Greetings, Canada. Delta and Edo states were in Western region and became Midwest region in 1964. This led to the operation of 4 regions in Nigeria. These were Eastern region, Western region, Midwest region, and Northern region. Unfortunately, the current political squabbles also manifested in the then regional form of government in the country. In the North, the people of the nowadays North Central agitated for the creation of their own region, hence the name Middle Belt. It was the socio-economic and political political oppression of the minorities by the Igbos that led to Eastern regional governments that prompted the likes of Isaac Dakaboro, Professor Ayo, etc. to move for separation from the Eastern region. Our legislators should be serious for once and legislate against corruption and looting of public funds. These are the reasons for our economic stagnation and sufferings. Regionalism or parliamentary system of government are not the solutions to our problems. Our attitude is a major problem in this country. We need change of attitude, Emi Fiaga. But I've got JJ, and JJ is calling from Port Harcourt Township. Parliamentary, regionalism, which one do you want? State policing?
Zero. No parliamentary, no regionalism. Canada, how will you feel that after you come to the brick house in River State to get whatever you want, and after now they say you must go back to Enugu before you get what you want? How will you feel?
I get you. I
am not feeling so bad because if the present administration can bring back what they call the 1960 last anthem, then what can the writers do?
But your principal says JJ, your principal says he likes the 1960 national anthem. So I'm guessing some politicians do like it, and if they your principal, His Excellency Siminalayi Fubara, the governor of River State.
He didn't say so.
No, he did. I mean, we played the recording during the 3 o'clock. He said, with all due respect, I like the new anthem. Okay.
I think I'm closer to him than you.
I will play.
So
I will play the soundbite for you again. Go ahead.
Maybe. But that said, going back to Enugu instead of going back to the brick house to get what you want, as far as I'm concerned, is an aberration.
Okay.
Now, what happened to Delta and Edo that was part of the Mid-Western state, now Edo and Delta states to facilitate development, what was the problem that we are having in the Mid-Western states that we could not solve, that now led to the division that will now bring back and we solve that problem in Canada? We don't need to play as if we're playing draft. As if we don't even know what we're doing. That regionalism is gone forever. All this bringing back or returning back to Egypt, going back to region. How?
So JJ, let me paint a picture. I'm not in support. I'm not against. So let's paint a picture. So regionalism. We've got Midwestern state. We've got Midwestern region. I beg your pardon. Northern region, Eastern region, Western region. Right. Then there will be no local government anymore. So this will now take the role of the local government, and the states will now see how they can ensure that the resources.
What problem is this to solve with this?
Interesting. That's a very interesting question you've asked now.
These are the issues. Because the problem that led to the creation of state, this problem has to be solved. You want to come back. How has that solved? Because I can tell you, as mature that I am, enlightened that I am, I don't even know the word, the national anthem. Do we need to come back? The refineries are not working.
But we keep saying. All right, JJ, I've got to go. But we keep saying. I've got to go one. But we keep saying good old days. Maybe that's why we're going back to the good old days. JJ, thank you very. All right, JJ, I've got to go. I've got good old days when the refineries were working, when our naira had value, when we were very industrious, a nation. So good old days. I guess that's why they're going back to the things that worked for the forefathers or our forefathers, the Nnamdi Azikiwe's and the likes. And so they're going back to those days to see maybe, just maybe, if Nigeria will be better off. But this says, as of today, I'm not in support of a constitutional amendment. If we have a problem with corruption, let's fight it. To me, with the kind of political class we, the non-politicians, are romancing with, we would make our nation worse. Like the illustration Jesus gave about casting out a demon and not taking steps to prevent its return, Jesus said the demon would return with 7 more demons more wicked than the first one. Look at the Electoral Act. Since it was amended in 2010 to reduce the timeline of litigation to 180 days, despite all the clear and obvious rigging we see, apart from Imo State in 2019, have we had any gubernatorial elections annulled? That's what we have constantly been doing to ourselves. Text from Oibo. All right, it's almost time for my next commercial, but I'm going to quickly read this one from Ezekiel Isaiah. The problem of Nigeria is not constitution, but constitutionalism. Until we adhere to the practice of the constitution, I guess you meant Nigeria will not be better off. All right, when I do come back from the commercial, I'll read some more messages, and then we call it a wrap. Do stay tuned, please.